90.3 FM. A very beautiful morning to everyone. Thanks, and thanks again for joining us on the show today. Yeah, my name is Jude Ikami Jude. And this beautiful morning, I have the pleasure of joining me in the studio just right here, Ladipo Johnson. In case you don't know, he is the National Publicity Secretary, the new Nigeria People's Party, the one we call the NNPP. I mean, the CS Party. Am I right with these now? I know I'm not. I know I'm not right though. But then, beautiful morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good to have you join us. And well, I also have another political analyst, Joseph Folorunsho. Yes, he is also a security expert. Good to have you join us also.
Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right, let's get talking quickly. But everyone, feel free to join us. Feel free to join the conversations via all of our social media platforms. Okay? Yeah, free, very, very free to join us. All right, like I said, feel free to join us, as we discuss this beautiful morning. Like I said, he is someone from the CS Party. And one of the questions I love to ask, first of all, is how is a seer? Okay, for those at home, I know when I say seer, you might be thinking there's a pastor somewhere, or there's a, maybe I'm talking about spiritualist or something. No, I'm talking about Kwankwaso. Rabbi Kwankwaso himself. That's what I'm talking about. The man who is in charge of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. How is Rabbi Kwankwaso? Let's start from there.
He's fine, thank you. He's, I think they're all enjoying their Salah. He's in Kano at the moment. He's fine. Sends his greetings.
Beautiful, beautiful. But how is he taking what is happening? How is he seeing what is happening in the city of Kano? Like, I mean, is he of great utmost concern? I mean, what's really going on? Is it touching him at all?
Well, it is definitely touching him. It is a totally unnecessary situation. He, like many of us and many others in Kano, feel that for some reason or the other, the state seems to be under siege, from the elections to the tribunal, all the way to the Supreme Court. Then this now happens with the issue of the Emirates.
Okay.
And you begin to wonder why the constant acrimony and what you have in Kano. And it's simple. It's because Kano churns out the largest votes in elections, and some people are not happy at the moment that the NNPP is in control of Kano. I'm sure when we discuss other things later, we come to the details of that. But apart from that, the good thing is that the majority of the people of Kano State are pleased with what the government is doing there now. The issue of the Emir, majority of the people are pleased that Emir Sanusi is back on the throne. And I'm sure
they're pleased.
Yes, they are. The majority are pleased. So I think at the end of the day, things will be sorted out. We now understand that it will be a constant battle. As I say, it seems that certain people are not pleased with the way things are. So I keep saying Kano is under siege, because I know that it will be one issue after the other. But the voice of the people shall prevail. It's as simple as that. They spoke with their votes, they'll keep speaking. It's as simple as that.
Of course, you know this is voice of the people.
I know. That's why I use that. The voice of the people shall prevail.
Okay. I love that. But then, let's delve into real matters right now. I love to discuss tough issues.
Okay.
Recently, we hear a whole lot from the opposition parties, the likes of the People's Democratic Party, some other parties, wholeheartedly coming out to talk against the current, administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. Everyone has been shouting.
President Bola Tinubu.
Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Continue.
You know why? I read a story here where someone is saying that they inherited all of these whatever
Exactly.
from. So I'm just trying to play something, right? So now, but let me set it straight. All of those other political parties have been like, okay, the current administration is not doing well at all, especially the way the economy is. We hear a whole lot from Peter Obi condemning this administration. We hear a whole lot from Atiku Abubakar condemning this administration and some other persons, but we rarely hear from Rabiu Kwankwaso condemning this administration. Is it like he's in alliance with what is happening, or what is it that we don't know, or what do you know? Tell us.
Well, people have different styles. That is the first place we'll start from. What Peter Obi might do is not necessarily what Rabiu Kwankwaso might do. Same with Waziri Adamawa. We, as a party, our position is very clear on many issues. On the 6th of April, I became the National Publicity Secretary. And since then, I have spoken out against inflation, you name it. We have our position. So our position is not different from the position of the leader of the party. He's not an officer of the party. He was our candidate. But yes, he's like the national leader of the party. And our position is not different from his. As I say, he has other things. As I said, Kano is under siege. So he's busy defending his base and what have you. And but we're still forging ahead with our plans for the party and our role as a viable, constructive opposition party at the national level. We're still doing that. And so that's not the fact that he does some interviews, but at the moment he's in the trenches. He's a grassroots man. I keep telling him that, look, we have to change this style of yours. You know he has grassroots followers, but you
in
have
Kano
to
State.
Not just am I from Kano?
More in Kano State. though.
Naturally, you have to have a base. God forbid that you don't have someone that has a base. You have to have a base. When people say, oh, Kano. Look, let me tell you, if I want to start to talk whatever, I'll tell you we want Taraba. And then magic.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
Really?
magic happened. Go and look at what happened at the tribunal. So it's not just Kano. Forget it. If it were just Kano, all the others wouldn't be bothered about Kwankwaso. They wouldn't be. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, yes, Kano gives you the highest votes. They wouldn't be bothered. I'm not from Kano. I'm from Lagos. I've been working with, not for, with Kwankwaso and the Kwankwasia since 2013. So there are people everywhere. There are people everywhere. We have people. But it is natural that you come out from somewhere. You're stronger somewhere. You understand? If you look at the APC now, it started, how did it look? Let's take Bola Tinubu. They started with the Alliance for Democracy. Then they lost most of the states during the Obasanjo time. They only had Lagos. And then gradually it started to spread. You understand? So even with Kano, politicians will tell you that if you have Kano, you have the equivalent of like 3-4 states, politically speaking. But the bottom line is the Kwankwaso group and the NNPP naturally now is spread around the country. We're weaker in some places, naturally, because we only joined the NNPP 2000 and when was the election? Look, my brain is asleep. 22, just a year to the elections, virtually. So, not enough time. But by next cycle, by God's grace, people will see.
We'll talk
what
more.
will happen.
We'll talk more on that. But you mentioned something. I really want you to go. Let's get back there. You said the NNPP won. What state did you mention again?
No, I was saying that Taraba, for instance, we would argue that.
I followed that.
Yeah.
What actually happened in Taraba? What happened?
I wouldn't want us to go into that. What happened? We had Professor, our candidate. I think he did very well. If we want to discuss, I'm a Christian, but if you want to discuss the unpleasantries or whatever of politics in Nigeria, some people still vote based on religious sentiments and ethnic sentiments. Some people campaign based on that. And I think what happened was that there's a large, Taraba has been seen as a Christian state over the years. Mm-hmm. But what happened is that a lot of the Muslim votes, along with a lot of the Christian votes, went to Professor as well. So it was a shocking, almost like a shock result. And then you had all this inconclusive or what have you. Well, I don't have the finer details. That's why I like when I speak from a position. I don't want to misinform people. But basically, what I was just trying to tell you was that, yes, Taraba was there. Of course, if you're talking Kwankwaso, even if you go into Katsina, Jigawa was next door. It was part of Kano. So the Northwest is a stronghold, a base for the Kwankwaso, and then it spread, and it is spreading around the country.
Let me ask you: Is Kwankwaso contesting in 2027? Is he going to contest in 2027?
Well, do I want him to contest? Yes. Is he going to contest? Who knows tomorrow? You understand? But he's not working as if he's not contesting. Is that all right? I don't want to say, you're laughing. I don't want to say that, do we want him to contest? Yes, a lot of us do. Because we believe if he were president, we wouldn't be in the situation we are in right now. But would he contest? That remains to be seen. But I suspect that he would. But I will not be able to say definitively at the moment, as a spokesperson. I was a former spokesperson of his campaign. I will not be in a position to say, yes, we are contesting right now.
Beautiful. Joseph, what? One of the reasons why I'm asking is some persons have opined, recently that your party is not ready. Let me use the word ready to win any election. Like, it's a part. Some people see the Kwankwaso as something for the North. Like we have Abga for,
No, they're different.
So people see it different. Like, what,
totally.
What do you think?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the Kwankwaso, the NNPP, just as he said, can be linked to the base is Kano. But the challenge I'm having, I don't know if they are seeing it from that angle too. It's like some individual need the base of the NNPP to have some trouble water,
okay,
or to be on one foot, so that ahead of 2027. I don't know their own analysis because we talking from looking at it from. If you look at what happened, the tribunal issue of property, the court and the rest of that. Then before you know what is happening, the role that I would say Abuja play in the decision of the state as Kano State Assembly of the former emir came out, or
Bayero.
Summa Emirate came out based on the law from the State House of Assembly, nobody shout. You understand it? The same State House as State House of
Assembly
came out again with now said, you know what? There was a pre-arrangement for the way the emir is. We go back to that very place. But I am surprised how, because I think on one of the show here, I was asking a question. I know that the only person that can order the military out of the barrack is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And when they do the other emir now, Adu Bayero, moving from is it anywhere down to Kano, I was shocked to see military and other policing agency around him. Then the question I've been asking is, who ordered the military to follow him? You understand? Which Nigeria needs to actually interrogate? Who? Is the president aware? If the president is aware, why? Because Kano is not a, yes, it could close to a border. We are not fighting with another country before you now say, okay, let the military intervene. This is internal issue. This is something that was a decision from the State House of Assembly. Then the other one is, I haven't read in any newspaper or listened to any radio or TV that when the Kano State House of Assembly instruct or pass a bill or pass information to the governor of Kano, say Yusuf, that please bring back Emir's Lamido Sanusi. I didn't see from any congratulation from the central government. You understand? The issue, maybe it is me that I didn't read very well. So which way you are not see military, you are not see some the NSC came out and say someone should apologize. So
you don't even need to go that far. The commissioner for police or of police refused orders of his chief security officer, the governor. And they're still doing whatever they're doing. In fact, when the former, let me be respectful, I was just going to say when the former emir, Ado Bayero, said he wanted to hold a Durbar yesterday, as is traditional and customary in Kano, on the day of Eid.
Okay.
They knew it would cause trouble. The commissioner now said he shouldn't, then went further to say he was banning the Durbar. You understand? Without consulting your chief security officer, which is the governor of the state. And we say we're practicing the federating system of government. And so the governor had to come out and say no. And the Durbar was held at the palace with Emir Sanusi.
What is the relationship between Ado Bayero now, and Sanusi right now?
I don't know. They're, all of them are cousins. Bayero's sister, full sister, is Sanusi's wife. So, even the governor, Yusuf, is a member of their family. So it's all family.
Would you call that a family thing?
No, it should supposed to be family.
It should be, but it goes further.
My challenge is, I used to tell people whenever there's crisis, I'm only interested in finding and looking for the shadow party. But those are the most dangerous part of any crisis.
Okay.
You understand? You may not trace anything to them, but they influence a lot of things. What circumstances resulting to someone say NSC that the deputy governor should apologize? It means that, I do tell people a governor, a deputy governor, the information that come to their table.
No, may I just say that the issue actually was not just the two individuals, not just as Sanusi was removed, but Ganduje desecrated the Emirates and now split it into, I think, five emirates. So the people were not happy. And it was a campaign promise by the NNPP that when we get back, because every local government they went to 44 local governments.
Okay.
People were saying that they want the Emirates back to one Kano Emirates. And that has been done now.
That has been done?
Yes, it's been done.
Okay. Let's add this to it. Some persons have also said
Yeah.
That this whole thing happening in Kano is a fight between the governor, the current governor, and Ganduje.
Well, on the surface, it might look that way. You understand? Not a fight. The governor is trying to govern. He's been there for 1 year, May 29th.
Okay.
He's trying to do what he has to do. But as Joseph was saying, it seems that there are some unseen hands and some people who just keep trying to cause and brew, cause some form of trouble. What is the end goal? At a stage when this started, I actually made a statement as National Publicity Secretary. I said, what you are doing is to try to get what you couldn't get through the courts. Okay. You want to cause chaos and then introduce a state of emergency in Kano. And by that way, take over. Well, the people of Kano, they're smart politicians. The average citizen, they're more astute about politics than we are over here. There was peace, no fighting, nothing. They knew what was going on and what is still going on. So that's why it's been peaceful, though the situation is hanging.
Let's leave Kano issues for now.
Okay, then.
And talk about...
Before you leave Kano, I think one thing is very, very instructive.
Okay.
Here is, I'm only very concerned issue of security. Whether at state
in
level,
the state, right?
Or state level or federal government level.
Okay.
And this is an advice to all parties, whether at federal government level. What do you gain if your action or inaction will cause crisis in any state? And I equally look at it that it's possible that it's true that this governor is actually in control of the people in Kano. Because Kano, to me, is a very, in quote now, a very volatile state. If you did not allow them to do what they want to do, it's like a very Republican individual that please, you don't impose anything on us. Imagine that maybe what some people plan succeed and the people of Kano say we will not allow this. Then you now be bringing military, bringing police, bringing DSS to say you want to stop some crisis. So I will advise that please, with the greatest asset that we should always guide any day, any time is peace. The peace of Nigeria is very, very key. The peace in any state is very, very key. If it is a democratic system, any ruling party must not be in control of the entire state.
Okay.
You understand it? So the one you were able to win, just manage it and allow the other person to equally manage what the people have given to them.
Let's get to your party. Let's talk about your party issues. I said earlier that some persons have opined that your party is really not doing well. You're the NNPP publicity secretary. Your party is really not making that noise enough for Kwankwaso to win an election in Nigeria. Here, or currently we hear more of Peter Obi, and Atiku Abubakar, So people are not hearing Rabiu Kwankwaso.
Well, maybe
what's going on?
Maybe you haven't heard.
Maybe it's around around the north.
People, no, not just about the north. As I say, or as I said earlier, you move from a position to another position. Each election is different. It's like each game of football is different. The way you play today is not the way you play tomorrow, because issues may have changed, and strategies of necessity must change. At the moment, we're busy rebuilding, restructuring, and trying to spread the membership of the party.
Okay.
Right? And that will go on for a while. When that is done, then you can begin, as you move towards 2026, right? You now begin to take decisions as to what you think you can win, what you think you cannot win. You understand that it's a natural thing in politics. So we have to follow these processes. But the first and most important thing is to learn from your mistakes, strengthen the base of the party, and begin to work in that direction. You don't put the cart before the horse. The foundation must be there. And that is what we're busy doing at the moment. We've done some constitutional amendments. We've
For your party, right?
for the party, yes.
Okay.
So we're busy. We've done that. We've changed our logo, etc. But we're waiting because it's already been submitted. Well, when it was done, the umpire, INEC, were available. They were there. And so you follow the process. It's a process. It's ongoing. And once that is done, then we start coming out to start to sensitize people that this is the new logo, this is the reason it is this way, these are the new colors, this is the reason it's this way, etc. And we then take it from there. Then you now start talking about those who want to go for a Senate or whether Kwankwaso wants to contest. You understand? At the moment, Ladipo Johnson is publicity secretary, national publicity secretary of the party. I don't know whether Kwankwaso has those who is advising him personally as a person as to his strategies if he still wants to contest. Well, my concern at the moment is the party.
But you know, looking at the issue of opposition, I think although people may I look at it from another different angle. It's as if you look at Nigeria, we are missing Lai Mohammed when you talk of opposition then. Because you know, whether you like him or not, he was, it's as if is it APC then or and ACN then, they go with the opposition. You know, since they become the government at the central, at federal level, opposition is like
anything.
Because
and that is, you see, my brother, that is the fault.
Lai Mohammed
that is the
in
fault.
The opposition now.
Hang on, that is the fault or the lack of whatever by the PDP mostly. I keep telling you, hang on, yeah, because I was a member of the PDP. The PDP is not. Look, the PDP has a larger structure. It's been there till 1998. The election was 99. So I joined 1998. So they have that structure. Are they using it properly? As would you say that they are an efficient opposition party? Forget Atiku Abubakar talking. Are they efficient? Forget Peter Obi talking. Is Labour as a party proper opposition? They're not. They're not. Yes, these two individuals are talking, you understand, and everything. But as opposition parties, are we doing enough? I've included ourselves there now.
Beautiful.
Are we doing enough? The answer is that most of us are not doing enough.
And you make Nigeria to be feeling, we are feeling a sense of Lai Mohammed.
No. Lai Mohammed's style is different. I will not, forgive me, Uncle Lai, I will not maybe misinform or disinform or whatever.
Okay,
it's not my style. We all have our styles.
Quickly, let's get down to talk about the merger issue. All right. Recently, a couple of persons have been talking about coming together to form a coalition, a very strong force against the All Progressives Congress. And a couple of times, your party has been mentioned, you know, to join forces with or some other political parties to. I don't know if your party is prepared or ready, or they're thinking about it, if at all they want to toe that line.
We've always said that we are always open to whatever will bring good governance to Nigeria. That is the bottom line. Now, unfortunately, whenever we say this, some will say, hey, they're going to work with Tinubu. They're going to work with Atiku. You understand? What we're saying is our books are not closed. Our doors are not shut. You understand? We don't have a selfish, greedy, we must go it all alone. We know that you might have to build bridges. It's not even might. In politics, you need to keep building bridges. Right? Not just to win, but also to spread that gospel that you believe will help the country move forward when you talk about policies or a platform, a manifesto, etc. So we are always open to that. And I tell you, there's some people who within the party want that relationship to happen. That is the PDP, ourselves, Labour, and some other people. There are some people, you won't believe it, who are within the party who want the entreaties from the ruling party to happen.
Before
You understand?
before 2019,
Yeah.
run down to the 2019 election, right? When Atiku lost to, Buhari. You remember? Now, people envisage that the best alliance would have been that of Obi and Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
Even now, to
No,
the
it's
2023 election now,
Yeah.
people still said, it shouldn't have been Atiku and Obi. It should be Atiku and some other persons, but then Obi and Kwankwaso. So we're now looking at who is going to now take the lead. As at that point in time, who is going to take the lead? Is it Obi or
Dr.
Kwankwaso?
Do you know that there was an official attempt to have that relationship?
Official attempt?
Yeah, I was fortunate to have been one of the three from our side. On the side of the Labour, we had Donyo Kukwe at that time, Julius Abure, and Senator Victor Ume.
Okay.
On our side, we had Buba Galadima, the current secretary to government in Kano, Dr. Bafa Bichi,
Okay.
and humble Ladipo Johnson. So I was in the meeting. We had the meetings. There was an attempt. But you see, the problem with such a thing within a short time is that forget the two individuals. That's Senator Kwankwaso and Peter Obi. Forget them. The issue was with the followership. The followership.
How do you mean?
Yes. Therein comes the prejudices that we still have in this country. Right? Now, how far would Kwankwaso have been able to pull his support, especially in the core north, to vote for an Easterner with the prejudices that the average man, wrong prejudices, I hope the listeners understand what I'm saying. I'm being factual. I'm not saying they're my beliefs. You understand? From northern Nigeria. Let me tell you the scenario. At that time, if it had worked out, and Kwankwaso had said, look, it's time for the South. Let's support Peter Obi. I will be his vice president. He might have lost quite a bit of his supporters who would simply have said, well, the only other northerner standing is Atiku Abubakar. Let's go and support him. It's an unfortunate situation. Same. How many of those who are maybe Christian Southerners, I don't want to say Southeasterners, that were Obi supporters, how many of them would have said at that time that, after 8 years of Buhari, this Kwankwaso, you understand? If Obi say, I will be vice president to Kwankwaso at that time, a lot of his own core supporters too would have said no. Either it's time for Igbo, or it's time for a Christian, or it's time for a Southerner. So these are the complexities. So when people say, oh, it's an ego thing between Kwankwaso and Obi, they should have come together, I just laugh. So you people don't even begin to understand the problems that these leaders face. So it's a difficult one.
Let's look at it head on. Don't you think it would have been better?
I think we would have won. No, we would have won. Not even better.
Okay.
We would definitely have won.
So the problem is not the people.
The people, the followership, the supporters.
From both sides.
From both sides. Would they have accepted that? Okay. Would they? Because we're still where we'll say, the North has ruled, it's time for the South.
But you remember,
or Christian has gone, it's time for a Muslim.
You remember Dr. Rabiu Kwankwaso used to talk, I mean, when you hear him talk about Peter Obi then, it's as if he will go nowhere.
No, it was not. I know where that is coming from. I was at Chatham House.
Okay.
Where he made a statement that people took and blew out of proportion or what have you. But it also came from the fact that certain things had been said about him. You understand? Because what he was saying was that, okay, you want me to be vice presidential candidate to Obi based on what? A lot of my friends, when I say friends, I'm talking about the Peter Obi people. A lot of them are my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
Don't even understand what Kwankwaso has done or his track record. You know, I was with someone the other day and she said to me that Obi is the most educated. I said, don't say that. I said, Kwankwaso. She was talking about the four of them. You understand? Okay. Tinubu, Atiku, Kwankwaso, and Obi. And I said to her, I said, don't even go there. He's a water engineer. He has a PhD in that. You understand? So when we spoke for about 30 minutes, she was like, huh? I didn't even know him. I said, you wouldn't have voted for him anyway. She said, yes, because I knew her. And for her, it was time for a Christian. Right? So we all have prejudices.
Is it about education?
No,
in Nigeria?
no. I'm just using.
If you say education, we'll go back.
Hang on.
Okay.
You see, if you are saying that, then the people at home might not be understanding me.
Okay.
I'm giving you facts of what happened. I'm not telling you that it is only an educated person that will push this country forward. I was just telling you that someone said to me that this person is the best educated. I said, don't talk like that. You don't know about the other person. This, and this is what he is academically. Experience-wise, House of Deputy Speaker, House of Reps, during the Abiola time, June 12th, Kwankwaso. Do you understand? Deputy Speaker, House of Reps. Most people don't know that. Constituent Assembly, Minister for Defense, Governor of Kano twice, Senator. When it comes to, he was on the board of the NDDC, representing the Northwest, resigned from the board because of sharp practices. And then what else? When we talk about international experience, he was the representative of the government to Darfur during the Sudan and what have you. So if you are talking, and 17 years civil servant. So if you are talking about government and what have you, forget it. Even Atiku, that was a two-time term vice president, didn't have the experience in government that Kwankwaso had. But your question will be, is it about experience? Now, is it about this? Is it about that? It's about something. But if you might be the best person at the wrong time, you might be the worst candidate at the right time and win an election. That's the nonsense in democracy. If it is qualification and experience, none of them, out of the last election, none of them would have stood with Kwankwaso. But it's not that. There's sentiments in the country. Some people felt it's time for the South. Different things. So it's not so easy to judge. I keep telling people, but I'm fortunate that within this context, that at least I'm there, I listen, I know the things going on, even within the APC. You know, I have so many friends there, and I'm a Yoruba Lagos boy, so my people, and you know, we were in the APC when the APC was formed.
Let's look at it. Do you think Dr. Kwankwaso will be anointed after the regime of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because according to some persons, they feel, well, the North did not unanimously come together to anoint him. That's why, well, things are like this. So people are not looking, okay, the Kwankwaso, or what's this man's name? There is a name I want to mention.
El-Rufai.
No,
Who?
no, don't go there. What's this? Ribadu.
Oh,
Nuhu Ribadu.
Yes.
You understand? Anything. So people are looking at either this guy or this guy for the North after Bola Tinubu's regime. What do you think?
Anything can happen. You understand? If tomorrow comes, God keep us all to 2027 and beyond. Anything can happen. It's Nigeria, it's politics. In politics, a day, 2 days, a month is a long, long time for things to swing around, and you wonder. Some have told me that, Kwankwaso is not fighting the government because Tinubu has promised him, and that is why himself and Ganduje are having issues. He's moving in to the APC. He cannot move in and be under Ganduje as national chairman, so they're trying to move out Ganduje. All sorts of conspiracy theories. And at times when we sit down and hear and listen to these things, we now start to laugh. That, and I ask him, I'll say, are you going to APC? So we laugh about these things. But some people sit somewhere and throw up these things, these permutations, and you begin to wonder and say, I haven't even thought about that. You understand? So all sorts of things. But as I said, I will not say that Senator Kwankwaso is definitively contesting 2027. I will not say he is not. If they say, what do you think, Ladipo? I'll say, I want him to. You understand? So that is that. And I'm sure many members of the party and the Kwankwaso want him to still contest.
I have issue with the opposition, the current opposition parties. If you look at the last one that is going on now, which is to me is an aberration, and it's unpatriotic and a bit a person without conscience coming out with that. Is it 34 reformers? House of Rare Reformers who are saying
about
that
6 years.
They want to propose 6 years and vice president successors or awaiting vice president or whatever. Then vice president admin and economy. And the question, and these are the money from how do you call it? Is a PDP person. That's the spokesperson for this reform. I think even these people, they then said they need to be reformed. Or merely coming up with that kind of order, you need reform, because we know that the vice president now is vice president waiting in case if the president is traveling or whatever. That is the next person that we stand for the president. And you're supposed to be an opposition who will be talking about the issue of security that is more or less a big challenge for Nigeria. The Naira versus dollar issue.
Yeah.
And look at education. You are not discussing that. We are talking issue of tenor. Is tenor? I'm talking from the opposition now.
My brother, it's not.
So I don't know whether member of NNPP is in that reform, which need reform.
It has happened time and time without number. It seems every cycle that we have, that people come up with this one-term, 6-year tenure thing and what have you. So I'm not sure it will gain so much traction, but we're watching. If it seems to be gaining traction, then we all start coming out to talk about it or against it.
There's something that someone will say either in the State House of Assembly or Senate or House of Rep. They always say, like on another fora yesterday, I told them that for me, those 34 reformer, they should subject them to see a cognitive psychology. You understand it? They have to go and see their cognitive psychology. Because you cannot be seen everywhere in trouble and you are discussing issue of 10 or 6 years or whatever. Is that the problem now?
That is the beauty of democracy. You have to, even if the house is burning and someone says he wants to move a motion on constituency project, you might feel it is unnecessary or stupid, but you can't shut him down. You understand? That's democracy. So they have their, let them say whatever they want to say, but Nigerians will react at the right time.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Of course, in case you were just joining us, well, I will say welcome anyway. But then I have here in the studio the National Publicity Secretary of the NNPP, Ladipo Johnson. All right, in the studio. Welcome anyway. I wanted to ask you. Let's touch on some national issues. Recently, the presidency has said that the present economic crisis being experienced by Nigerians is caused by previous administration. We know we're quick to, and it's him now. He was the one. He did that and all of that. In fact, he responded to
the New York Times.
The New York, yeah. What's your take on that, really?
I think it's a joke. I think
you call that a joke?
It's a joke. It's nonsense. You see, the president saw what was going on. He was part of it, politically speaking. He was national leader of the APC.
Okay.
President Buhari was his candidate. So he cannot divorce himself from the 8 years of Buhari. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he say he was going to continue from
where
exactly
Buhari stopped?
For them now to turn around and now start saying that all of a sudden, because there was something on international press, the New York Times is widely read, talking about, my question when I read it was that, please, the presidency should first tell us if there's anything wrong or false in what the New York Times wrote. If inflation is not where it is today, if insecurity is not where it is, you understand? They should first tell us before condemning whatever was written.
But they said that the president made some giant steps.
Yes.
That needed to save the economy, help the country.
Yes.
One is the removal of fuel subsidy.
Fantastic. What's the effect? You can make giant steps. Do you understand? The first giant step was subsidy is gone. You don't talk like that. As president of the country, you have to look at the reaction, markets, how they will react to whatever you say and to your body language. Same thing. Look at Niger Republic and the other place they had the coup. They say they are pulling out of ECOWAS. What was the statement of the president as at the time it happened? There are some things. It isn't that a president or governor or diplomat does not have feelings and doesn't get annoyed. But that's what we call diplomacy. You can say, this is Wednesday. You can say, we are at midweek. Right? It depends. And these are the things that have caused part of the problems. But back to the policies, I'm not an economist. Does it make sense to remove fuel subsidy at the same time at which you are floating your naira? When you know, to quote them, that you are left with an economy in shambles. Does it make sense? When did the naira tank? Yes, we know. When Buhari left, it was at 400 and something. It went all the way to 2,000 to the dollar. Has regained a bit, is now dancing again at 1,000 something. Were those Buhari's policies that led to it? So they should get serious. When we were assessing 1 year in office, I said it. I said 1 year, those who are supporting him, it's too short a time to... Yes, it's too short a time. Usually,
the Wale Soyinkas of this world.
And, usually in governance around the world, they talk about midterm. That's 2 years. 2 years before elections. When it comes to midterm, and before we blink, it will be it will be 2025. You understand? Then we can now say, but my take on where we are at the present moment is that we haven't seen the ship of state turning to face the right direction. We won't say, you understand?
You haven't seen.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if you are feeling it, if you are seeing it. You know, when you are telling people to tighten their belts and everything, the masses, the people will want, every government has a honeymoon period.
Okay.
When they just get in, you are willing to say, sorry, let me say Yoruba, he has just gotten there. You get it? But after a while, they see that you are buying jeeps, you are renovating, you are doing this, you are doing that. At a time, they denied it. There was one presidential yacht. You understand? Then the people start to look at themselves and say, why are we... The only thing we were enjoying was this so-called subsidy. Why are we suffering whilst the Senate, the executive, and co are not suffering? Why aren't they tightening their belts? And you see, you need the support of people, the masses in the country, for your programs to succeed. For instance, how can you fight insecurity in villages if villagers are not willing to give the army or government information, intelligence, that there's this man that has moved into the area, we suspect him. The police and intelligence security services need information from the masses, from the populace. If they don't believe in government, if they don't believe, I'm just using it as an example, it makes it more difficult. So I think where we're at the moment is that they should stop. You see, you can campaign using all this propaganda and what have you. You came, you told us that Emirates is coming back to the country. You came, you told us that, is it Maersk Line? They're coming to invest so much. The people had to stand up and say, we never said that in our meeting with him. It's a disgrace. But because we don't have viable opposition people in the country bringing this up all the time, you understand, virtually everything passes. Nigerians are not fools. Yes, we may be acting as fools because we don't pull them up on some things. But I'm not saying, in short, what I'm saying is that yes, it's a year, they need more time. But, old man, I not see waiting, they go make me believe, say, next 3 months go better. It's as simple as that. I know that the answers will not come immediately. I'm not being unreasonable. I'm not saying that Bola Tinubu and the government are magicians. No one is a magician. It will take a painful process. But are we going in the right direction? Let me tell you, Mr. President, looking at his antecedents from Lagos, whenever I want to fight them politically, I say he's a tax and spend president, tax and spend governor. They seem to believe that the more revenue that government makes, that means they are performing. Whereas I will tell you that, look, Nigerians are hardworking people, businessmen, struggling people, Nigerians. Make the environment friendlier for them. Not too many taxes and levies.
Tax waivers, right?
Yeah. When you're talking big business, medium-sized businesses, waivers, yes. You will be able to, it will stimulate the economy. Remind me that I want to say something about Niger.
Okay.
It will stimulate the economy. Activities begin. The pharmacists, the chemists, whatever, they can employ more people. Work is coming. The economy begins to, you understand? At the same time, you are working on insecurity. The people are supporting you with insecurity, because without security, the environment will not change. We see how expensive food is, tomatoes, things like that, because a lot of them have been driven away from the farms. They can't farm, let alone transportation, because fuel subsidy is gone. Then the taxation along the way, area boys saying that they're from local government, and even our big boys in uniform, what do you carry?
Okay.
It's also some form of taxation. Unfortunately, that's the situation. So all these things contribute to the cost. Now, government sitting down at the center is still talking about revenue because he's not willing to cut his costs. When Mr. President and co, Akpabio, when they start cutting their costs, we will know that they're serious. Government is sitting in the middle there. They're not saying, oh, where is our money coming from? Okay, all importers of rice, 0 tariff for the next 6 months. Won't that crash the price of rice? You understand? What I wanted to say about Niger, the border is shut, you cause trouble. Well, he didn't cause trouble, but we mismanaged the situation. The border is shut. Do you know how many Nigerians in northern Nigeria trade with Niger? Taking out, bringing in, taking out, bringing in. Same thing here. How many people take things out of through Benin, Badagry, Benin, all the axes. So we must look at it in a holistic manner.
I would want to open up the studio lines because here, this is voice of the people.
Yeah,
love to hear.
Vox Populi, Vox Day.
Exactly.
But I'm not sure it will be Vox Day because some of them will call to abuse me. No. I know how it is. They'll just start calling and abusing.
I'm trying to ask something to which the opposition need to equally be.
Quickly, please.
I am surprised. For me, if we are serious in this country, I don't see any IGP that will spend more than 6 months if we still have this security. Because I want to see a situation, but when you are bringing head of any policing agency, you say, oh, in the last man that was there, we're recording maybe 15 deaths. Then now that you are here, I want to say that you bring it down to like at least, if it can be 5 or 10. But you see that a new person is there, you continue to encourage him, but you see a lot of high insecurity. When do you think we can do so? I would do like what happened with the Finidi George, that immediately you see that you are suspecting that this we may not get a better result. Then you are thanking the person for coming.
I love you are
bringing another person in.
I love the fact that you talk
in terms of security.
Anyway,
issue.
You're a security expert. I love the fact that you bring it, you narrow it down to the security.
Football.
No, the security aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a good one, but then our country, you understand?
If our country is our country will continue as it is. So we should stop crying.
Now, here is a question I wanted to ask before I quickly open up the studio lines. What Nigerians are listening to you at home and abroad right now? Yeah. People are listening to you right now, and they can watch you, they're seeing you talk outside the country. I want to ask you, what would you advise Nigerians to do at this point in time? What would you say they should do? One, what would you want the government to attend to? Which area would you want these guys to focus on right now? Because if you hear what people are saying out there, it's all about a good message of hunger. It's even a good message, but it's just a message anyway. Hunger in the land, and it's becoming terrible on a daily basis.
Well, I would say that government must quickly try to see. I cannot tell you what it has to do, details. Try to see how it will reduce its costs very quickly. As it is reducing its costs, you understand, it will then be able to look at some staple foods, ensure that tariffs are removed totally on those things, just to get these commodities into the market at the lowest possible costs. You understand? If it has to do a special thing, an emergency regarding the transportation of food and produce to different parts of the country, You say, I'm not saying reverse fuel subsidy. And if it has to do something special, subsidize the movement of those things, then you'll see that within a short time, the prices, the inflationary trend regarding food might begin to drop.
Okay.
Might begin to drop. That's one of it. The CBN must, when we're talking about monetary policy, they must look at certain things as well. This issue of the naira, maybe we have to defend it in the short term, rather, instead of leaving it. I know that without admitting it, they've probably started defending it. They've seen that it couldn't have been left that way. But basically, then regarding the people, we the people, you see, let me just say it this way, because I know they're going to call in, they will abuse me. We the people have our own faults. You don't have less than 2 million people doing nonsense, if we say they're doing nonsense, and controlling 200 million people, except those 200 themselves are not thinking people.
Okay.
Except those 200 million people, myself inclusive, are not thinking properly. Because when we talk now, when it comes to 2026, 27, they'll forget everything. Once the rice and the oil and the money keeps flowing, they start dancing. Wasiu will be singing, different people will be singing. You see that someone will throw his vote away because of a t-shirt or because of 1,000 naira. So you understand, it's and then those who know that those are the ones in the middle, the main culprits. Those who know better, they sit at home. They say, we know what will happen anyway. INEC is sold, this and that.
Okay.
That is where the problem
It's all right. Let's get to open up the studio lines quickly so you can join the conversation this beautiful morning. All right, 11:40. 0700 903 903 903 is the number to call. 0700 903 903 903, and of course WhatsApp number is 081 717 56338. 081 717 56338. I have just a couple of minutes to wrap up, but then I will want you to be very, very civil first of all, and I need to say that. I hammer that always. Be civil, and of course 60 seconds might be too much for everyone, but then see how you can manage it. Okay, around 40 seconds you're done. Just call in and hit it quickly. Thank you so very much. Let's get to the phone lines now. Good afternoon. Good morning to you. Beg your pardon.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to your wonderful guest. I forgot his name. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, too.
I'm not here to abuse you. I love your speech. You said well, and I love your style. So you have spoken the truth. And I wish those who are supporting this government could listen, because they become gullible, because they sit at home and they keep supporting evil. This country has been put in a mess. They can't deny. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, they are trying to, push the responsibility to the previous incompetent government, which is still the same party. Because he said he was going to continue from where he stopped. And look at the situation now. Now, okay. And the most painful thing, when during the previous election, let us interview you to see what are your plans. They kept on running away. Hiding from the media, hiding from people. Look at the result today now. Is it the right way to go? And what your guests have said, that the ship has not really moved anywhere. It is going downward. That is what I want to say. They are just moving nowhere. They don't have any solution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much. Let's talk to you too. Good afternoon.
Good morning.
You know why? They understand. My show is for afternoon.
Okay.
The person who's supposed to be manning this is not here. So I'm used to my afternoon bells. But they understand me, Jerry. Don't worry. Good morning to you.
I never see any changes. Changes from the...
What did you say? Say that again.
Which is president.
Hello?
Hearing what hello?
Yeah, what did you say? What's your name and where you calling from?
No, I'm talking about the calls we are making all the time, the complaints of Nigerians. You understand? Hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, we learned that they are like a president, that they are listening to us, that they are hearing, that they are passing the message that we are sending to them. But there's no another thing, no difference of the way they started and even now and even today. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, like if they cannot do anything about the insecurity, I think I said it some 3 days ago. If they cannot, the president cannot do anything concerning insecurity in Nigeria. I don't think, even if you give him 20 years to rule this country, as a Bola Tinubu as it is today, he can still not shift nothing. He can still achieve nothing. And this is the insecurity of the thing. I'm looking at the insecurity of the thing as that is what between him and probably the Northerners. That's what they use to help him to achieve what is not easy. Yes, during the election 2023, everybody knows what it is and how it goes. So that's why sometimes you can see, if you watch his movement and his this thing, whenever he wants to do something, like he wants to say something that he wants to do good, you see the Northerners, they will come up like threatening with one thing, he will go back. So I'm seeing it as
thank you.
Like they have reached that agreement when they want to give him the.
Let's talk to some other person, okay? Thank you so very much. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Please, you talked about we being civil. Yeah, we will be trying to be civil.
Please try.
Yeah, I will try. But at the same time, the government to receive being civil with our Commonwealth, that to receive being civil with a act in trying in us trying to protest. Okay. They should be civil too. They should equally be civil too in managing our resources. They should equally be civil too in borrowing money. The previous government, they borrowed 77 trillion naira. I think 77 trillion naira. This present government now in 1 year has borrowed 21 trillion naira just in 1 year.
Thank you.
So the civilness should spread down with the masses and also to the government.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning to you this morning. God help me.
Yeah,
good morning. Yeah, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, the gentleman in the studio.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah.
So we can never abuse you. You are spoken well. In fact, this platform is not for we to abuse anybody. It's the only way you are making a propaganda. All of us we know. We know when you are saying the truth and when you are carrying a propaganda. So we can never abuse you. You are spoken well.
Thank you.
You have even spoken like somebody who feels the hunger in the land. So, but the only thing I want to ask now is that, now, the masses, we don't have anybody to fight for us. The NLC, who's supposed to fight for the masses, they are now going for their own selfish interest. Okay. So my question, sir, how can the masses stand up and fight for their right? That's my question this morning, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so very much. Thank you. How can, like you said, yeah, how can? You want to say something quickly as regards that?
Oh, okay. I thought we'd take everything together. So, well, how can they? You just have to keep organizing, keep talking, as many people as possible. And the easiest way is at the ballot box. But then a lot of us vote and then just turn our backs and we don't follow up. If you keep assuming you know the constituency office of your representative, either the senator, House of Reps, House of Assembly, bombard them. When you bombard them with letters and you talk to them and everything, and they know that they're becoming unpopular, some of them will turn around and stand up for the people. So that is it. Unfortunately, not everyone can go and represent the labor union or can go and represent their office or what have you. But it's just the swell of opinion, and you contribute to that by discussing, just like you have called in now. Thank you, sir.
Someone was actually, someone said something, but then I recall after the election, there was a meeting. There's a question, a whole lot to talk about, but I know we'll have you anytime soon, if you don't mind.
No problem.
A whole lot to talk about. That there was a meeting between President and Rabiu Kwankwaso.
Yeah.
After the election.
Yes. There have been several meetings.
What was the meeting?
After the elections, the president indicated, I don't know if you recall, that he was thinking about a government of national unity. So when that is said, and they invite you.
National unity or inclusive government.
National unity, whatever.
No, I really want to break. Okay.
He said he wanted to have everybody round. That was the government he wanted to form.
Okay.
And they had discussions. Kwankwaso informed us before he went. He went for the meeting. They had discussions. We all, well, not all. Some of us had reports from the meeting. And as things would turn out, we're not necessarily on the same page. Before you get involved in anything, you have to be on the same page. And where we're at, we have no problems, but we'll just keep telling the truth as we see it and what have you. So that was what it was aimed at, but it didn't come to pass. It didn't.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hello. Good morning to you. Yeah.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.
It's in on the line.
Yeah, shoot.
Jide, I say God bless you again.
Amen, sir.
God bless you again.
Amen.
sir.
I say God bless you again.
And you too, sir.
Heart.
And you too, sir.
Yes, you do know why I say this? This guy speak like a true Nigeria. And God will surely protect him from anything, and he will be blessed in everything he do.
Amen.
Jide, let me tell you one thing.
Okay.
You see the mathematics he put down for you there? You see the small population people that fill the major population in both states, and all of us accept it. That's why I keep saying, every Nigeria, when you get closer to Milo, the image you see there is your problem. Until you sit up, until you talk like a citizen, not like an enemy of the land, because no price buy food cheap.
Exactly.
No religion buy cheap.
Exactly.
Food cheap in Nigeria.
Sure.
No insecurity does not spare anybody. It doesn't know your religion. It doesn't know your pride. So every citizen must sit up. Now that all of us are victims of this situation, God bless you, my brother. Once again.
Bless you too. Thank you so very much for calling. Okay, let's see if we can take 2 or 3 more calls, and then we wrap things up. Someone is saying here, he said, will Nigerians ever tell their leaders the truth? Who can actually lead the country out of this deep financial hole, this financial mess? You know, do you think the current, according to what he said, career thieves? That's what he said. Who can lead the country out of this quagmire, out of all of these issues?
It is the country that will lead the citizen, because what Oga said, I mean, on different opinion with what he said, that you give someone time for him to. Nigeria is supposed to be in form of an aptitude test, whereby we are looking forward to speed and accuracy. 4 years. You understand? 4 years should be approved like 4 hours or 40 hours, because you cannot have issues, serious issue of security, serious issue on so much economic is. Then you are giving someone. If I will not be able to, in my village they will say that any market that will be good in the morning, you know how the market will go. So I want to beg Nigeria that we should involve us on what they call delayed gratification. Yes, in psychology, sometimes they say promise is an answer to a fool. You understand it? Someone promise you, and you not give him the opportunity. Get to that position. He's not promising you another thing. Say no. The one that you promise, let us fulfill that one first before you started promising me.
Another
many
one,
times you see many people are in position of authority or head of organization. They will be promised you different reform. And at the end of the day, or some of it is when they are there, they started setting up a unit that will take care of a particular thing. You now ask him,
okay,
what have you been doing since?
Let's talk to this person. Hello? Good morning to you. Are you there? Okay, good morning. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Oh, I think you have to call back. 0700 903. I'll take just 2 more calls and wrap things up this morning. 0700 903 903 903. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Okay, I salute Ladipo Johnson.
Welcome.
Good morning,
Honestly,
sir.
you are very factual when you said your own style of publicity secretary is not that of Lai Mohammed. You are very factual.
Yeah.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And again, they say a clear conscience fears no accusation. You don't need to fear abuse at all, because
No, I
I
was
don't think
joking.
there's any sane Nigerian that will abuse you. You are very objective, not even talking like a politician. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
My fears are, so given the North-South dichotomy, if in 2027, though we are not God as you alluded, so your principal expresses interest to contest. So given the fact that at least we know the North did it for 8 years, and this is the turn of the South, what will you advise your principal if he ventures to come out in 2027? So, and again, can you help? I know you cannot release your party's manifestos to the ruling party. So, can you help us add your voice? Tell this government, especially hunger on the land, if they can do anything they can to ensure that food comes into this country cheap enough for the average Nigerian to buy, please, we will appreciate that. So before even talking about 2027, so please, that's my own appeal.
Thank you. We have to.
Thank
Thank you so.
From Ijagamo.
Thank you. I appreciate you. We really have to go now. Your parting shot, please, before you leave.
Well, I think from the calls we've had, most Nigerians seem to be, we have a majority on the same page, and that is that government has to go back to drawing board, rejig its policies, and try to know that the people, the masses, are more important than they are. It's not just the few people in government that is as if government, I'm talking federal government now, is as if they were not prepared. It's a shock to a lot of us. It's as if, based on what Mr. Joseph was saying, it's as if they were not prepared for governance at the national level. I don't know why. But they have time to turn things around very quickly and hopefully get the economy moving again. But we really have to bring inflation down. And government has to cut its costs. They cannot continue like they're doing and think that the people will keep accepting it. After a while, it will explode.
But don't forget the president reduced his convoy.
He has? Okay, that's good.
Joseph, you want to say something, please? Before we wrap up?
What I want to say is I want to just beg Oga Johnson that this very seat that is sitting down is reserved for the governor of Kano State.
Okay, when he comes to town, I'll tell them. I'll tell him.
And Dr. Kwankwaso too.
Okay.
But we need to actually interface with them and see 2020.
That will be good, actually. They do a lot of radio in Kano and in the north. So when next Kwankwaso is coming to town, I'll force him to come, because I see that you have a stream of listeners.
Exactly.
At the People's Parliament. Okay.
So for me, delayed gratification will help us.
Okay.
It will help us. Nigeria, this is our country. I am not willing to say I want to run away from this country. We just have to find a way to build this wonderful, well-endowed country for our children, even for ourselves, for our children, our unborn children. Nigeria is a wonderful place. Yeah. We just have to find a way to fix it.
We have to find a way to fix it, and it starts now. Thank you, everyone. My name is Jude. Ikami Jude. Thank you so very much. I'll be with you by 1 p.m. We'll talk more. We'll talk politics. We'll talk issues happening in the country. Okay? So do join me again. Like I said, on social media, I am Ikami Jude. IKAMIJUDEH. I love you so much. I'll meet you by 1 p.m.